Hi, Mary. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Hi, Diane. I'm really happy to be here. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, good. It's a busy day.
Yeah, you're getting ready for a big trip.
I am.
Very
Yes, I am.
exciting.
So, yeah, it's going to be a busy week before I leave.
Very exciting. I hope you have a wonderful time.
No doubt about that.
Okay, so as we partner here together for the
hmm
next half an hour or so, what result would you like at the end of our time together?
Boy, I've been thinking about our coaching practice today, and I really am struggling with what I want to get from it.
Okay.
So, just trying to think about things that I need coaching on, but I can't really come up with anything specific at the moment.
Are there things going on in your life that you feel you're ready to move beyond, but maybe you need to kind of explore what might be in the way? Or is there an edge that's coming up in your life that you'd like to walk up to and walk beyond?
There's many of those.
Okay.
Um, but okay, so let's talk about my hesitancy to travel. I know I'm going on a big trip, but it was really a struggle to get to the point that I'm at today with leaving. And how am I going to, because travel is such an important part of my life, how am I going to not have those struggles in the future? And maybe that's the result I want to look for. And, what's getting in my way and why am I feeling that way?
Okay. Okay. That sounds like a good, and you're going, where are you going on your trip?
I am going to the Galapagos Islands.
Wow. Sounds amazing.
I know I'm going with a friend. So that really helped me to actually book it because I was going with a friend. I'm typically a solo traveler.
Okay.
But for some reason, I just was really stuck. Um, I really wanted to go someplace big this year in 2023. And, when she asked me, I first said no because I didn't really even know where the Galapagos was, exactly. Uh, it's a long trip. I'm on the airplane for 3 days.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. But as it got closer, I just was more comfortable going with a friend than going by myself.
Okay. So if this half an hour is amazingly useful for you, what would
Mhm.
you have as a result at the end of it?
I would have the feeling of independence again, um, confidence in myself for solo travel again because I love it so much. But that feeling of independence and not, relying on anybody else to decide or have to negotiate with during a trip, right?
I
So feeling that independence again, that I'm capable of doing that again.
Independence that you're capable of solo travel. Is that
Mhm.
accurate? Okay.
That's accurate. Yes.
Okay. And what is the value to you of being able to feel that independence around solo travel?
Mm. The value to me is immense. Just because I know that I love it so much and I learn so much more when I am traveling independently, making the decisions I make on a daily basis. Um, and yeah, not having to worry about other people, anybody else. I can go to the places I want to go to, and not worry about what other people think or want to do or any of that.
And if you're not worried about other people or what they think or want to do, what are you doing regarding other people or regarding yourself?
Regarding myself, I am making decisions for myself.
Okay.
So maybe that's where it goes, as we make decisions for ourselves on that daily basis.
Okay. So make decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
So I heard several things. I heard that you want to feel independence again around solo traveling and confidence. And you want to get that sense that you're capable of solo traveling again and be able to
Mhm.
make decisions for yourself, which I guess is part of the independence. Would you say so?
Yeah, I would say so. Yes.
So if we were to kind of narrow down and what we want from this limited time, we're going to take a slice of that pie.
Mhm.
How would you write down what we just talked about that you would like as a result? And in fact, I'm going to ask you to write that down, if you would, in your own words.
Okay. I would write down that I would like to feel the confidence and be independent enough to make my own decisions without the what is it called? I'm missing the word in my brain. Without the consult of other people.
Okay. And I'm going to ask, if you didn't have the consult of other people, what would you have?
I would have the independence to make decisions on my own.
Okay. And this is regarding solo travel, or is this bigger than that?
Well, now that we're talking about it, it seems much bigger than that, doesn't it?
I don't know. That's it.
I'm writing it down. So yes, the independence. So in simplistic terms, to feel the independence of making the decisions on my own.
Okay. So would you read back to me what you wrote down?
I wrote down independence to make decisions on my own.
Okay. And where are you now? If we were to put a 1 to 10 on that, where are you now regarding the independence to make decisions on your own?
I would say, well, I'm past a 5. I would say I'm a 6 or a 7, probably.
Which one feels right, 6 or 7?
6. Let's go with 6.
Okay. And where would you like it to be by the end of our time together today? What kind of progress would you like to make?
I would like to be at a 8.
Okay. And how will you know you're at an 8?
Good question. How will I know that I'm at an 8? Um, I guess I will have to test it, maybe. But how will I know I'm at an 8? Just I think it's the feeling of being independent, right? That feeling of confidence in yourself and choosing the right thing for yourself would give me that feeling of being at an 8.
Okay. For myself or for
No,
yourself?
for myself.
Okay. All right. So what I understand is you want independence to make decisions on your own. And right now you're at about a 6. And by the end of our time together, you'd like to move that up to an 8. And you'll
Mhm.
know that you're in an 8 because you'll feel the confidence.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a
Yes.
felt sense of that. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what are some of the considerations around feeling this independence to make decisions on your own?
Can I ask, what do you mean by considerations?
I mean, what are some of the issues around that? It might be obstacles, it might be challenges, it might be topics. So maybe one is solo traveling. You mentioned solo traveling. So is that it might be areas of your life. I'm not sure. What
Mhm.
rises when I mention that?
Well, I guess to because it's coming up and I'm taking this trip, the solo travel aspect of it. My husband He's a consideration for sure, but he has never said no to me. So it's not really a consideration. It's kind of a secondary consideration, although he's first in my life. It's a consideration. He worries about me when I, want to go places like the Galapagos. If I was going by myself, he would be all for it, but yet worried.
Okay.
There's money
Okay.
considerations. There's the consideration in travel. Any travel I do is where am I going to sleep that night at night? That's kind of my rule is I need to know where I'm sleeping. Considerations. Where do I want to go? What do I want to learn? Who do I want to be when I'm there? Am I gonna, look for self-sustaining places, local places, or am I going to stay in a, like a corporate hotel, kind of the, standard hotel?
Okay.
Those types of considerations.
Okay.
Time is a consideration.
Fine. Okay.
Mhm.
So what
Mhm.
I'm hearing from you is that we've kind of narrowed it down to about this trip for this particular session. And we can look in the future to kind of the broader question of independence to make your own decisions on your own. But it seems like it's focusing more in on this trip. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I would say this trip and trips in the future because I do want to return to solo travel.
Okay. Okay. And what you've told me is that some of the considerations are your husband
Mhm.
and money, where you're going to sleep,
Mhm.
time, where you want to go, what you want to learn, and who you want to be on this trip.
Mhm.
Of all those things, what feels like it rises to the top as the most important to start with in our conversation?
Mm. Time.
Okay.
I think it's time.
Okay. So, where would you like to begin in talking about time?
Mm. Time. Where would I like to begin? Time has been fluctuating, I should say, maybe for me lately. Since COVID, it seemed to be warped and flowing, and now it's slammed into structured.
So, you went
So
from warped and flowing. I saw the warp and the flow in your hands to what would be your hands do if you were saying what it slammed into structure? Boom. Right. Got it. Yeah. And how does that impact you?
well, like many people, the return to normalcy, although I don't like that word, has really structured people again. And I feel that. I feel that structure happening, and I have never really enjoyed that structure that much.
Mhm.
So, I know that I will create the time to take solo trips. Um, and it's my hope anyway that this trip is going to kind of push me that way that, oh, okay, yeah, I can do this. I don't have to be so structured in my time that I can create that flow again, that sort of ease and and by feeling capable and independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going from this,
Mhm. Mhm. Boom.
this.
This is what I want. Yes.
How do you get there?
Well, for me, it's making decisions in your day, making your choices, right? And creating that flow and designing life the way I want to design it rather than having other people choose things for me that I don't want to be doing or doing so much of, maybe.
And what do you think is going to support you and being the one to choose how you spend your time.
Support me. What's going to support me? Is that the question?
Mhm.
What's going to support me? Well, my husband supports me,
Mhm.
first of all.
Okay. And how does
He really never says no to me. Whenever I come up with some crazy, wacky idea, he's all for it. He's always supported me through whatever endeavor I've chosen.
Hmm.
Um, and he comes with me most of the time. So
Okay.
uh,
And so if he's not saying no, what is he saying?
he's saying, yes, go for it. Be yourself. Be Mary. Do what you need to do for yourself.
And how does that impact you?
Oh, it makes me feel great. And, I get to sit up a little bit straighter when I think about him and right. Uh,
Yeah, and I see it
you
on your
know,
face, and I can
yeah.
feel the energy kind of lighten up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My heart just gets full
Yeah.
when I talk about him. I don't talk about him very often.
Mhm.
Um, you know, um, yeah, he's always there for me. So that's a good support.
What's that full heart feel like in this moment as you talk about him?
Mm, it feels freeing. It feels independent.
Mm.
It feels it feels strong and supported. Kind of like I can do anything I want.
Oh,
And isn't that what we all want? To do anything we want.
I'm not sure what we all want, but it sounds like that's what you want, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want that you feel free and
Uh-huh.
independent.
Mhm.
So it sounds like his support of you really shifts who you are
It
inside.
does.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh,
Into a
yes.
more free and independent place.
Mhm.
So are you there now?
I am. Yeah.
So from this place, how can you bring this to your making your own decisions to do more solo traveling and taking trips on your own?
Boy, when I think about the places I still wanna visit in my lifetime, bringing that feeling from him, how I feel about him and how he feels about me and wanting me to be me, um, bringing that in I before I decide what I wanna be doing.
Hmm.
Maybe during, well, no, it's more during when I'm deciding what I wanna do.
And how might you do that?
Oh, just the thoughts, the process, the short little meditations that I do. Um, I can look outside and see the birds and see that he hung that nice little bird feeder for me. And it just reminds me, the little reminders, um, that, he supports me in whatever I want to do.
Hmm. So I'm wondering what you just learned about yourself, Mary.
Mm. Maybe that my independence isn't um, dependent on somebody else. Or isn't wait, no, I said that wrong. My independence is supported by others, but not dependent on others.
Aha. So it's not dependent. What is it?
Right. It's, independent. It's free from others.
Okay. But it sounds like they play a role.
They do, yeah. Mhm.
So how
Yeah.
would you fit that into the learning? You said your independence is free from others,
Mhm.
but there's also this component, as you were speaking about your husband, I saw how you shifted,
Mhm.
how you felt this freedom and independence in your heart from his support. So there's a component of particularly him and how he supports you that helps you feel that independence.
Mhm. Yeah, there is definitely that. And what was the question then?
The question is, what did you learn about in talking about this? Like if you were kind of write down, encapsulate this. So, these learnings can be very ephemeral and just fly away. So if you were to kind of capture your learning, it's something to do with having his support
Mm-hmm.
supports you in being independent and free or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hearing from you. Is that accurate or how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, maybe getting the support from him, helps me to be that independent decision maker in my life. So with that support, I can do that on my own. Would I do that on my own if I didn't have his support? I don't know. That's an interesting question to ponder.
It is an interesting question to ponder.
Mm-hmm.
What comes to you in this moment?
Mm-hmm. Well, a sense of loneliness, feeling alone, but yet no, I don't think I would be as strong and as, independent as I am without him.
So if you were to write this down in a present active personal way, and you might want to start with when I or as I, you don't have to,
Mm-hmm.
but how would you say it? You just said something about when I have people or my husband's support. Is it specific to him?
Well, no, I would say my circle.
Okay.
My circle is not really large,
Okay.
but I've got children and grandchildren, so they're important as well.
Who else is in your circle?
Well, there's, I have 3 or 4, 5, 6 as I think about them, maybe 10 really close friends,
Okay.
that are really, part of my circle. I would like to include my brother, but he thinks I'm absolutely crazy. So, um,
Doesn't sound like there's much support in that direct way there.
he stays home. He
Okay.
goes golfing and fishing, and
Okay.
he stays home.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so
So
let's capture this learning because I think it sounds important to me. Does it seem important to you?
it is important. Yeah.
So it's something
Yeah.
that when I have the support of my circle of, or how would you word that?
Well, when I have support of my circle of loved ones,
When,
here it is.
okay.
I'm able to live on purpose.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's part of my purpose.
Ooh, I feel a tingle. How does that impact you to say that?
Oh, wow. Yeah, because the word adventure just came in when I was talking about my brother. He stays home and, goes golfing and fishing close by where he thinks I am. He doesn't think I'm crazy. I shouldn't have said that. He thinks I'm adventurous and, out there.
Are you?
So adventurous, yes, that's part of my purpose.
Okay.
Mhm.
So did you write down what did you write down there?
Yeah. When I have the support of the people that love me, I am able to live on purpose.
Beautiful. And what's your purpose?
My purpose is to be adventurous and feel joy in all the things that I do.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. So independence and adventurous and being adventurous are two in the same, on the same plane, let's say. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you're feeling that sense of purpose right now, that adventurous, that independence, which sounds
Mm-hmm.
like brings joy.
Mm-hmm. Brings joy, right? It does.
Where do you feel that in your body?
I feel that in my body and my heart. I also feel it up here.
What do you feel up there?
A sense of connection to my spirit.
And what is that like?
Mhm. It's warm and enticing comes to mind.
Ooh, warm and
Enticing.
yeah, yeah. So, wow, how can you use this sense of adventure and independence and joy that you're feeling in your heart and this
Mhm.
enticing spirit that's you're feeling up here to experience more confidence and independence in solo travel, for this trip, solo decision making, and for future trips?
Mhm.
How can you use that particular energy or experience that's happening to you right now?
Just connect that to the places that I want to see yet in my life and the things I want to do yet in my life. And, the experiences I still want to have in my life and bring that and connect that all together in
And
that adventurous way.
okay. And do you have a sense of how, on a like a practical level, you can do that?
Well, that brings me back to the meditations that I do, every day and the connection I have to my spirit every day, the connection I have to my body every day, um, and the connection to the people that I love the most every day.
Wow. Spirit, body, and
Mhm.
you love.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, it's what's important. It's
Yeah.
all back to the what's important in your life,
Yeah.
my life.
Mhm. So connecting to those three will help you experience more of that independence and confidence to do that solo travel and to take those trips.
Mhm. Yeah, I believe it will.
Yeah.
I believe it will.
Yeah. And I'm curious about where you want to go. Are you willing to share a couple of those places?
Yes, I wanna go back to South Africa really bad. I really want to do the Okavango Delta and Victoria Falls. Take that river canoe trip that takes you through the Delta and then into Victoria Falls.
And as
I
you
think
talk
that's
about this, I'm wondering, are you able to envision that?
Oh, yeah, I can see it
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Mhm.
And how does that affect who you are?
Hmm, that I can see that? It kind of feels more like home.
Tell me
It
more
gives
about
me
that.
it gives me that warm and exhilarating feeling, you know? Um, well, South Africa was the only place that I've ever traveled that I came back and said that I could live there. That would be a place that I could live.
Mm,
Um, and why that is, I'm not sure
mhm,
because, I've traveled a lot of places.
mhm.
Um, I also would like to go to Norway, all the way to the top to see the Northern Lights. Um, I'm not sure why, because that's a cold destination, and I live in a cold destination, and I grew up with Northern Lights. So, why do I wanna go way up there? I could just go up to my brother's house and stay with him.
Something sounds like something's calling you.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Um, yeah, so there's a few other places I would like to go,
Yeah.
things I wanna experience.
Beautiful. I'm just enjoying you talking about where you want to go, and I can just see your face lighting up. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be around that energy. So we're coming to the end of our time together.
Mhm.
And first I want to check in and see how we did regarding independence to make your own decisions. And it ended up being
Mhm.
around solo travel and other trips, but maybe around this trip to the Galapagos Islands, there's some
Mhm.
independence there. So you were
I-
to 6 and you wanted to move to an 8, and I'm wondering where you are at this point.
Yeah, I can feel that I've moved to an 8. I'm sitting up straighter, and
Okay.
I think I'm speaking clearly, more clearly than I was.
Okay.
I feel my truth. I feel my truth a lot.
Nice.
So I think that, my truth is awake,
Okay.
and I just keep following my truth.
Does your truth want to communicate anything in this moment?
Um, I think my truth knows that I need to experience the experiences I want in life. And in having that independence will provide me the um, feeling of adventure to make those decisions, how I want to make them in my life, and be truthful with myself.
Lovely.
Mhm.
So, what are your action steps to take after we end this call?
My action steps. Well, I guess most immediate is I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do on a daily basis while I'm in the Galapagos,
Okay.
um, and how I'm going to be, right? How am I going to be? What do I want to see there? Because I don't really know a lot about it. I know Darwin did his evolution studies there, but I don't know a whole lot about it. So maybe look a few things up, see what I'm going to see. And then, look at my year and create the time I need to do the things that I want to do and make the decisions that I need to make for myself.
Are there any supports or resources that you need in order to do the things you said you want to do?
Um, well, feeling that support from all my loved ones. Yes. And, talking with my husband and making it clear, what I need and why I need it, and all of that. So I can remain being myself.
And I'm wondering if you need any accountability structure in place in order to follow through with what you said you want to do.
Um, I would say that my husband is probably the one that keeps me accountable.
Okay.
When I make a decision about something, he's often asking me, you know, am I on track? Things like that. Am I creating the experience that I want to create for myself? So I think that's where my accountability comes in.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Mary, I just want to thank you for showing up and with your presence and your focus and your willingness to go deep on this and to really explore what's going on and how to
Mhm.
move yourself towards the more independence and confidence you want. It's a pleasure working with you, and it was a pleasure working
Always.
today. Always. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure working with you too.
Thank you. Thank you. How would
Mhm.
you like to end this meeting today?
Mm. How would I like to end it? Oh, just feeling that love, and, I know that you always are a part of my love group, um, and, just a reminder of how people in our lives come and go and come and go, and the ones that stay are the ones that are important.
Beautiful. That sounds like something to capture.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Diane.